Monster Hunter Rise PC requirements, release date, demo, and more. Monster Hunter Rise has been out for the Nintendo Switch for a while. The game will be available on Steam on January 12, 2022. Additionally, both PC and Switch owners of the game will be getting the Sunbreak DLC in summer 2022. IGN has also shared 9-minute PC gameplay footage that was showcased during TGS 2021. Monster Hunter Rise is an action role-playing game developed and published by Capcom for the Nintendo Switch. It is the 6th mainline installment in the Monster Hunter series after Monster Hunter World 2018, and was released worldwide on March 26, 2021. A Microsoft Windows version is currently in development and is planned for a January 2022 release. An expansion, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, is scheduled for release in mid-2022 next year. As with previous Monster Hunter titles, Monster Hunter Rise has the player take the role of a hunter, tasked with slaying or capturing large monsters using a variety of weapons, tools, and environmental features to damage and weaken them while surviving their attacks. Successful completion of the offered quests provides loot, typically in the form of various monster parts from the monster, which are used to forge new armor and weapons that can be used to take on more powerful monsters, forming the series' notable core loot. Several of the series' monsters return along with a host of new monsters developed for Rise. Monster Hunter Rise is launching for PC on January 12, 2022. Capcom previously said that Rise would arrive on PC in early 2022, and thank goodness this is just about as early as it gets. Even so, that's a big gap between the Switch and PC launches. For context, Monster Hunter World released on consoles in January 2018, while the PC release was in August, about 6.5 months later. When Rise releases on PC in January 2022, that's nearly a 10-month gap. Why is it taking so much longer? Leaks from late last year showed that Capcom and Nintendo had discussed exclusivity terms for Monster Hunter Rise that could have been a determining factor in when Rise would be announced and released for PC. Capcom is actually putting quite a bit of effort into Monster Hunter Rise's PC port. We definitely had our worries that Monster Hunter Rise could be a letdown of a PC port, and it's looking like we could stand to get our hopes up. The PC features trailer up there for Rise answers several concerns. It will look better, thanks to 4K resolutions, high-res textures, higher frame rates, and other advanced graphics settings. It will also support voice chat, which was one of the bummers about trying to play with friends on the Nintendo Switch. Capcom also says that Rise will have optimized keyboard and mouse controls with the ability to rebind and set shortcuts for actions. When Capcom ported World to PC, it had a relatively easy task. That was a game built for the PS4 and Xbox One, which have 86 architectures quite similar to the PC. At launch, World definitely had some issues. It was CPU intensive and the UI didn't translate perfectly over to mouse and keyboard. A fan patch by well-known modder Caldian helped prevent Alt-Tab crashes and lightened World's CPU load. Over time, Capcom did keep patching World, polishing the PC release to a fine shine and making fixes like Caldian's unnecessary. Even with some launch issues, the PC version was a big leap over the console release. Monster Hunter World ran at 30 FPS on the base consoles, or around 40 FPS on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. At max settings, the PC release was difficult to run at 1080p, 60 FPS on 2018 hardware, but the unlocked framerate meant powerful rigs could push the game well beyond the performance and graphics quality of the console version. Capcom later released a high-resolution texture pack for PC that really improved some blurry low-res weapon and clothing textures. It's great to see Rise getting some of this same treatment. None of this is surprising for a PC game being developed in 2021, but it's still nice to see the basics we'd expect being planned in a port from the Nintendo Switch. We'll have a long wait for Rise on PC, but when it gets here it should look like a major upgrade. Are you excited about Monster Hunter Rise coming to PC? Will you be picking it up? Monster Hunter Rise releases on Steam on January 12, 2022. The game is already available on Nintendo Switch. As of the time of writing, there have been no official announcements regarding cross-save between the Nintendo Switch and PC version, although that may change closer to the PC version's launch. For the latest gaming news and reviews, follow on Twitter and Facebook. For the latest gaming videos, follow us on Instagram. Links in the description. As always, thank you for watching. Peace out.